Vayifka b'mokom. He met the location. Vayodlin shom yivo hashemesh. He slept there because the sun set. Vayikach mi'avni hamokom yosim rashosov. Vayishka b'mokom hahu. Now the word Yolan doesn't mean he slept. He chose to spend the night there because the order, it says, suddenly he fell asleep, so it's Vayikach mi'avnei hamokom. What do you mean? He took from the stones of the location. That because it was Bo Shemesh, the sun suddenly set, therefore he chose to sleep there. Now, how does he prepare for the sleeping? Vayikach mi'avnei hamokom. Vayosim, he put it around his head. This is to protect himself. Vayishka b'mokom hahu. Rashi. Vayivka b'mokom. Luhisker hakosuv be'ize mokom. Ela b'mokom and dishka b'mokom acher. Hu hara Maria shnemabo vayar es hamokom yirochok. Now it's interesting. It could have said vayivka b'mokom hahu. Right? And that would have resolved everything. Vayivka b'mokom hahu. He came upon that place. So what's that? That means there's something unique about that. Mm-hmm. Torah doesn't say hahu. We're relying because somewhere else it says mokom. Therefore, mokom here means that, means the Har Moriah. Right? It would have been more easy to say hahu, right? Vayivka b'mokom hahu. So, David, what do you say? Joe, you hear what I'm asking?
Yeah, I hear what I was asking, but b'mokom means the place.
I know, but by who, the place. But hahu, that comes to exclude any other location. So evidently, you see from here, it's similar to what the Ohr HaChaim HaKadosh says in Bamidbar. We speak about the Mishkan versus the Midbar. So we speak about, although the vastness of the Midbar is endlessly larger than the location of the Mishkan, but in regard to its innate value, the Midbar is nothing. The Mishkan is everything. Vayivka b'mokom, there's no other mokom. There's only one mokom. Understand? If other locations we call mokom, you have to say that place. Dahut, to emphasize that. Vayivka b'mokom, there's only one mokom. He approached the mokom. Who would indicate something also has that degree of value. Nothing else has that degree of value. Therefore, it's not necessary to say the word who. So how do I know which is the location? Because it says by Hamaria, Mokom, said I know that this Mokom also means Har Maria. But it just gives you an understanding, you compare, you have a bunch of apes running around, and you have one human being, you said, well, he is the human being. I mean, what else is a human being? I mean, is there even a consideration? Anything else is a human being but that person? Understanding the innateness of what Har Maria is, nothing else is classified as Mokom. It's nothing.
What's the use of the word poga?
No, we'll say Vayivka. Kmo poga b'richo, poga b'dava, v'oshes v'rabsei pirshu loshen tfilo. Kmo v'ativka bi, it's loshen tfilo, Vayivka. Could have said Vayovo. V'ativka bi v'lamadu sh'niken tfilas arvis. He would what? He musak in the arvis. V'shina kos lo kos vayispalel. So what did it say? Vayispalel ba'mokama. Vayispalel. Lamda shekopse bo'oretz k'mo shemfurish per Geran Noshev. Because he passed it, came back. So it's to allude to that.
All right.
1 second. It says, the Gemara says in Brochus that Avram tikin Shachris, Yitzhak tikin Mincha, and Yaakov tikin Arvis. So why was Misak and Arvis? Well, everything else was covered, right? Shachris, Mincha, Ma'ariv was covered. But I always ask, the day starts with night, doesn't start with the day, right? So it should say Avram tikin Arvis, Yitzhak Shachris and Yaakov Mincha. So evidently, it has nothing to do with when the day begins and when it ends. It has nothing to do with this. Yaakov, Avram Tikin Shachris is what? What does Shachris represent? What? Not only that, if you take a look at the Ramchal in the Das Tunos, in the Derech Hashem, the night is given over to the nether forces that we discuss in Hilchos Netil Shedayim, Negelvasa, to Ruach Tumah. That's the reason Al Vayeitzei Adam Yechidi Balaylo, a person should not travel himself at night, because he's subject to Mazikim. The demons, it's the time of the nether forces, the nighttime period. Why the nighttime period, not the daytime period? So Ramchal explains, because since the nighttime period is not a time of productivity, human beings are at home, so therefore, and since you have to have a balance between good and evil, so therefore it's a time where that time is not utilized by mankind. People are in their homes, so they're protected, or in their communities. That's the reason why. But day is what? Light, productivity, but it's also, it's rachmim, it's shefa. It represents bracha, flow of positive energy. The whole idea he says, the Ramchal writes that in the morning, a person does his bodily functions. Cleaning out the system, that corresponds to the nether forces. When morning comes, the nether forces are swept out of existence. They're swept out of existence. So a human being, when he rises in the morning, the body expels all the waste. The waste represents the nether force. The Ramchal writes this. That's what it is. Okay?
Automatically, you're saying.
No, that's the way Kodesh Baruch Hu created the Bria. Most people, you sleep at night. When you awaken in the morning, that's what you do. You do the bodily functions.
So what's the Netilas Yadayim do?
No, that's the... Netilas Yadayim is the Ruach HaTumah.
Right, that's not what we're talking about.
No, why is the Ruach HaTumah? Right, because it represents the nether forces. Nether forces have to do with Tumah. What's Tumah? Tumah doesn't emanate from purity.
They're gone, though, right? You said.
But we've been exposed to it. Because we were exposed to it, right, that's what you call one opinion, even if you're up all night, even if you don't sleep. Right? The nighttime period, that is a time of impurity. Why is it time of impurity? Because it's the time of the nether forces. That's the reason. Okay?
Rabbi, can we go
Wait a second, wait, before we go back. Okay? Okay. It's like a person's says a motzi, he's about to eat the bread. Oh, excuse me, let's discuss the recipe of what you're going to eat. We have to first eat the bread, then we'll talk about the recipe. Okay? So that's Avram. Avram is the one who introduced Hashem to existence. So because he's the one who introduced the whole concept of the whole idea of that there is a Borei, there is one, there's divine providence. Everything doesn't happen by itself, but yet Hashem dictates every moment. That's Shachris. That's Shachris. That's why it starts with Shachris. Then there's Ma'ariv. Arvis is night. What Yaakov, we always mention, is the Av of Kolus. It's the most ominous period. And it's a time of Tumah. Now, how do you deal with that? There's only one way you can dispel that. That's with Torah. That's Torah Or. By Torah Or, so that's Arvis. That's Arvis. That's Avram Tikkun Arvis for that reason. That's Yaakov. Yaakov was Tikkun Arvis. Then, well, the only thing you could dispel the night or make any semblance of sanity of that time is only through Torah. I always quote the Rambam. The Rambam says that the primary time a person should learn is at night. He quotes a pasuk in Eicha, because Yirmiyah says, Kumi Roni Balaylo. You should rise and sing out at night. And the Rambam says, Talmud Torah, Torah. When did Yirmiyah say this? When he saw Klaus who went to Golus after the Churban Abayis, he says, so how do you deal with this Golus? There's only one way to deal with Golus, Kumi Roni Balaylo. The nighttime when everything is ominous and dark and things don't make sense, you can only put things in perspective only through Kumi Roni Balaylo. Through the Rina, the Song of Torah, that's the only thing that will give you some degree of understanding or grasp what's going on. That's Yaakovinu. Okay? That's Tikkun Arvis. Yeah, what did you want to ask, Howard?
Just to go back, so Vayera,
What?
in Vayera, it uses the word et hamakom. So for the
Har Maria.
Akeda, for the
That's
Akeda,
Rashi
right.
just brought that.
So you were asking why hamakom again. So it's
That's I didn't ask that. I didn't ask that question. I didn't ask that question. Didn't ask that question.
He said, how do you know it was?
No. Rashi says, how do we know mokum here? Because this is what over there it says mokum.
Right.
That's Rashi says.
So here, I mean, the context of the story is that this is Hamarite, this is where the Akedah is going on. So we understand it, that this is a holy place for...
How do you know about mokum means the location of Akedah?
well, if we, the story, because that's what happened. This is the place of the all afterwards.
Rashi says, it says mokum there, therefore I know mokum here means Akedah. Well, it means the Maria. That's exactly what Rashi says. Not the Akedah. Not because there was a Akedah. Mokum, Hara Maria. Right?
Well, doesn't the context of what...
You're getting too convoluted here.
Yeah, but
That's over there, but
doesn't
that's
the
not
word,
what
to make the
that's
argument,
not the main issue.
Abraham, the day starts at night. So since he was the first.
It's night.
I mean, Abraham shed
The-
light on the world.
But it's still dark. It's dark.
The world was dark until Abraham came. You can make an argument, but why was it Abraham?
Because Avram generates the positive. It's like he's showing you what exists, that exists. Golus is something else. Golus is tzoros. Avram is not. He says your existence. You have to understand what the source of all this is. Right. Yeah, but Golus is problems. You have problems. And how do you make sense out of something which is problematic? That you need Yaakov. Avram is not their problems. All this bracha, what is this bracha? Where does it come from? Okay, I'm going to shed light to where it comes from. Okay, let's do the morale.
How do you